Denmark, a country smaller than a province in Vietnam, where people gladly contribute up to 55% in income taxes and still rank among the happiest nations in the world. A place where bicycles replace cars, swimming doesn't require a swimsuit, and Santa Claus truly receives letters every year. What makes this small nation so unique? Join us as we explore a dreamy world in this video. Denmark, modest in size, monumental in mindset. Though small in physical size, Denmark's impact on the global stage is anything but minor. Located on the Jutland Peninsula and surrounded by more than 400 islands, this etched Scandinavian gem is known for its seamless connection between land and sea, and for being the birthplace of what many call happy minimalism. Instead of chasing luxury or material wealth, Danes tend to prioritize social equality, personal well-being, and environmental harmony. The nation provides free access to quality education and universal health care, while fostering a high level of mutual trust among citizens, an invisible but powerful force that keeps the society running smoothly. Denmark's influence extends well beyond its borders. Its urban design, green technology, and emphasis on work-life balance have prompted even the world's largest economies to reflect on what truly defines a successful nation. Who would have guessed that a country smaller than one Vietnamese province could set such a powerful global example? Makes you wonder, if Vietnam adopted just a few elements of Denmark's minimalist philosophy, would our chaotic morning traffic finally become a thing of the past? Christiania, Copenhagen's bold experiment in freedom. Tucked within the lively capital city of Copenhagen lies a living social experiment, Christiania, also known as the Free City. This unique semi-autonomous neighborhood was established in 1971 by a collective of artists, freethinkers, and social activists who envisioned a community based on self-governance, creativity, and nonconformity. Christiania doesn't operate like the rest of Denmark. There's no police presence, no income taxes, and no adherence to conventional municipal rules. Instead, the residents follow an internal system based on democratic discussion, public voting, and community consensus. Here, rules aren't imposed, they're agreed upon. People live simply and sustainably, often in homes they've built themselves using recycled materials. Art is everywhere, painted on walls, embedded in gardens, and performed in public squares. While the area has faced legal tensions over cannabis use, the Danish government continues to tolerate Christiania as a cultural and social free zone, a place that shows what can happen when freedom meets responsibility. Christiania challenges conventional ideas of order. It's living proof that when people share values and respect one another, society can function, even flourish, without strict laws or heavy enforcement. No police, no taxes, no bureaucracy. Just a community that lives by its own rules and thrives in doing so. Sound too good to be true? In Denmark, it's part of reality. So here's a question for you. If you had 1 week to live in Christiania, what would you pack? A guitar to jam with locals? A tent to sleep under the stars? Or maybe just an open mind and a free spirit? Let me know, because I can't be the only one dreaming about it. Danish women, quiet strength, modern feminism in action. In Denmark, feminism doesn't need bold slogans or marches to make a point. It's reflected in the way Danish women live, think, and carry themselves every single day. They're independent, confident, and highly capable, often rejecting rigid beauty norms and gender expectations in favor of practicality and self-sufficiency. You won't see heavy makeup or flashy fashion here. Danish women typically favor comfort, functionality, and authenticity over superficial trends. They fix their own furniture, manage their own budgets, juggle careers and parenting, and do so with calm determination rather than fanfare. But what truly empowers Danish women isn't just progressive laws. It's the deep cultural foundation that encourages them to lead fulfilling lives on their own terms. Gender roles are blurred by default, household chores, parenting responsibilities, and decision-making are shared equally. Strength and intellect are admired far more than softness or submission. Their version of feminism lives in the everyday. A woman choosing to live solo, pursuing a career in engineering, raising a child on her own, or stepping back from work to recharge without judgment. In Denmark, being self-reliant isn't just respected, it's cherished. These women are not waiting for approval or support to be valued. They're valued because they stand on their own feet. Nude beaches, where the body is free and the mind follows. In Denmark, the human body is not viewed as something to hide or be ashamed of. It is simply a part of nature. While public nudity may provoke shock or discomfort in many other parts of the world, it is approached with openness, maturity, and profound respect in Denmark. Along the country's scenic coastal regions, particularly during the warmer months, it is common to see individuals of all ages enjoying the beach completely nude, without awkwardness or embarrassment. Families, couples, seniors, and solo bathers alike gather in a space where the body is just a body, not a symbol or spectacle. There is no judgment, no uncomfortable glances, simply a shared understanding that the human form is natural and should be embraced as such. Even during the winter months, many Danes continue their tradition of plunging into the frigid waters nude. Known for its health benefits, this practice is a way to invigorate the body, refresh the spirit, and clear the mind. To many Danes, shedding their clothes is not just about immersing in the cold. It symbolizes shedding stress, ego, and the insecurities that often accompany societal pressures. Importantly, this culture of nudity is not about seeking attention or provoking others. It is deeply rooted in mutual respect. People engage in this practice without any sense of superiority or embarrassment. There is no staring, no gossiping, just individuals who are reconnecting with themselves and nature in its purest form. The freedom here doesn't lie in the act of nudity itself, but in the dignity, respect, and calm acceptance that accompanies it. It is this essence of freedom, both of body and mind, that makes it so powerful and liberating. Must-see destinations, a country where time, nature, and play collide. Though modest in size, Denmark is home to a wealth of fascinating and varied destinations, where history, nature, and creativity blend seamlessly. Start your journey in Helsingør at Kronborg Castle, a UNESCO World Heritage Site immortalized as Elsinore in Shakespeare's Hamlet. Stepping into this iconic fortress is like stepping into a piece of living history. Its Renaissance architecture and literary significance make it a must-visit for those interested in Denmark's cultural legacy. Next, head to Skagen, Denmark's northernmost point, where you can witness a unique natural phenomenon, the meeting of two seas, the Skagerrak and the Kattegat. This visible collision of waters, which never quite mix, creates a striking visual contrast that speaks to both nature's power and its balance. It is a moment of reflection, symbolic of the tension and harmony found in life itself. Ribe, Denmark's oldest town, offers a journey back in time. As you walk through its cobblestone streets and past its picturesque half-timbered houses, you're transported to the medieval past. Ribe's charm lies in its ability to make history come alive, with every corner offering a glimpse into the country's rich heritage. No trip to Denmark would be complete without a visit to Legoland, a magical theme park that pays homage to the iconic Danish invention that has captured the imaginations of millions. Constructed entirely from Lego bricks, this whimsical wonderland celebrates the joy of play, creativity, and nostalgia. Whether you're drawn to grand historical tales, tranquil natural beauty, or the playful spirit of childhood, Denmark offers a remarkable variety of destinations that stir the mind, warm the heart, and delight the soul. Danish cuisine, honest flavors from the heart of the north. Danish food might not aim to dazzle with fancy plating or overpowering spices, but that's exactly what makes it so special. Rooted in a lifestyle of balance, Danish cuisine emphasizes high-quality ingredients, seasonal eating, and the simple pleasure of gathering around a shared table. Staples like rugbrød, dense rye bread, pickled herring, and frikadeller, pan-fried meatballs, may sound unassuming, but each bite reflects centuries of tradition and a deep respect for nourishment. Meals are enjoyed slowly, often at home, with loved ones, not rushed or eaten on the go. One beloved classic crispy pork belly served with parsley sauce is more than just a comfort dish. It's often the centerpiece of family holidays and festive dinners, where generations come together to eat, laugh, and create memories. Danish desserts, often made from locally foraged wild berries, are another nod to the country's deep connection to nature. Their natural, sweet tart taste captures Denmark's culinary spirit, minimal, pure, and deeply satisfying. In Denmark, food is more than fuel. It's an emotional experience. It brings people together. It creates cozy, candlelit moments where conversation flows and hearts feel full. This is the essence of Hygge, that magical feeling when a simple home-cooked meal becomes a celebration of life itself. So, here's a fun question. If a steaming plate of frikadeller appeared in front of you right now, would you reach for your fork first or your phone? Let's settle this. Team dig in or team Instagram? Coffee culture, slowing down, one sip at a time. For Danes, coffee isn't just something you drink, it's a way of life. With an average consumption of over 8 kilograms of coffee per person each year, Denmark sits comfortably among the world's top coffee-drinking nations. But unlike the caffeine-chugging culture seen elsewhere, here coffee is about pausing, not rushing. Whether at home, in the office, or at a cozy local cafe, coffee breaks, known as kaffepause, are woven into the rhythm of daily life. These aren't quick stops for a caffeine fix. They're moments of calm, reflection, and connection. In Danish workplaces, taking a short break to sip coffee and talk with coworkers isn't just accepted, it's expected. At home, families and friends gather for a warm cup, often with pastries or bread, enjoying a peaceful atmosphere often lit by candles or soft lamplight. The vibe is quiet and unhurried. There's no need to check emails or scroll through your phone. Just be present with yourself or the people in front of you. In this small, everyday ritual, you'll find a big life lesson. You don't need more to feel more. Sometimes a hot cup of coffee and a good conversation are all it takes to feel grounded, seen, and restored. The Danish flag, a quiet celebration of belonging. The Dannebrog, Denmark's national flag, a simple white cross on a red field, isn't just a symbol of statehood. It's a symbol of shared joy, used not only in patriotic events but throughout everyday life. In fact, Denmark may be the only country where you'll see the national flag not just on government buildings, but on birthday cakes, picnic tables, and baby strollers. Whether it's a wedding, a graduation, or even a child's first day of school, the Dannebrog makes an appearance, not as a formal display, but as a heartfelt gesture. It signals pride, togetherness, and celebration. During birthdays, little flags are often placed on cakes, wrapped around gift boxes, or hung on banners across the room. You might also see tiny flags lining garden paths or decorating tables at a backyard dinner party. What's striking is how natural and personal the flag's presence feels. It isn't about pomp or nationalistic display, it's about identity shared quietly, lovingly, and often playfully. In Denmark, patriotism doesn't shout, it shows up in small, beautiful ways. It lives in the details of ordinary life, reminding people not just where they're from, but who they share it with. Unique festivals where fire, music, and meaning meet. Denmark's festivals aren't just colorful events, they're soulful celebrations that bring tradition, music, and light together in powerful harmony. One of the most enchanting is St. Hans Eve, Denmark's version of the Midsummer Festival, held on the night of June 23rd. As the sun lingers late on the horizon, people gather along beaches and lakesides to light massive bonfires, sing age-old folk songs, and symbolically burn a witch figure, an old Nordic ritual to chase away evil and welcome light, health, and happiness. The entire evening glows with a rare mix of festivity and sacredness, set against the surreal beauty of a Scandinavian sunset. For something more contemporary, Roskilde Festival stands tall as one of Europe's largest music festivals. What started in 1971 as a small nonprofit initiative has grown into a global celebration of music, youth, and social values. Hundreds of performances, from world-famous headliners to experimental acts, fill the fields with sound, while the festival continues to promote environmental sustainability, community projects, and creative expression. It's not just a party, it's a platform where culture meets conscience. Then comes Christmas in Denmark, a season that begins early, often as soon as October. The cold, dark months are transformed into a wonderland of glowing candles, hot seasonal brews like julebryg, Christmas beer, and heartwarming traditions. Children eagerly open daily surprises from advent calendars, while families gather for homemade meals and meaningful time together. Here, Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a celebration of warmth, connection, and renewed belief in simple joys. Bicycles, rolling through life with purpose and peace. In Denmark, and especially in Copenhagen, the bicycle is more than just a vehicle. It's a lifestyle, a statement, and a philosophy. Over half of Copenhagen's residents commute daily on bikes, no matter the weather. This isn't out of necessity. It's a conscious choice, reflecting a culture built on balance, health, and environmental awareness. The city itself is designed with cyclists in mind. Dedicated bike lanes, separate traffic signals for bikes, and even bike-only bridges make two-wheeled travel smooth, safe, and enjoyable. Riding a bike here isn't about avoiding traffic, it's about choosing freedom. It's about gliding through quiet tree-lined paths, hearing birds instead of horns, and feeling the rhythm of the city without stress. Cycling is part of what makes Copenhagen one of the greenest and most livable cities on Earth. There's pride in living sustainably. There's joy in knowing that your daily commute leaves behind clean air and peace, not carbon emissions and noise. So, if you had the choice tomorrow, would you rather be stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic or take the scenic route on a bike through a city that breathes with you? Let me know in the comments. Maybe we're both on Team Two Wheels. Life in Copenhagen, a capital city with a village heart. Copenhagen might be the beating heart of Denmark's politics, culture, and economy, but it never loses its soul. Unlike the fast-paced chaos that often defines capital cities, Copenhagen moves at a gentler, more intentional rhythm. It feels more like a storybook village than a modern metropolis. Here, people don't measure life by how much they get done, but by how deeply they live. Locals pause to enjoy a book by a sunlit window, take long walks along peaceful canals, or meet friends for coffee in intimate cafes filled with soft music and candlelight. Rooftop gardens bloom quietly above cobblestone streets. Food markets bustle with local flavor. Music drifts through the open air at parks and public squares. Bicycles are more common than cars, and green spaces outnumber high-rises. In every corner, there's a feeling that the city was designed for humans, not just for movement, but for meaning. Copenhagen proves something rare and beautiful. A city can be smart, modern, and efficient, without being loud or overwhelming. It can be poetic, it can breathe, and most of all, it can remind us that even in the heart of urban life, we're allowed to slow down and just be. Santa's mailbox, a real-life portal to childhood wonder. In Denmark, the magic of Santa Claus is far from a mere story. It's a living tradition that keeps the spirit of childhood wonder alive year after year. Each holiday season, thousands of children from Denmark and around the world send handwritten letters addressed to Santa, with many of them directed to Greenland, which is often considered Santa's true winter home. But here's the twist that adds a touch of enchantment to this tradition. Those letters actually receive replies. A dedicated group of volunteers, affectionately known as postal elves, take the time to carefully read each letter and send back a personalized response. In doing so, they help to make the holiday season feel more magical for the children, turning the fantasy of Santa into a tangible reality. In today's world, where instant messaging and digital convenience dominate, the act of writing a letter, carefully choosing a stamp, and eagerly waiting for a response becomes a special moment of its own. It's a reminder of the power of patience, imagination, and the quiet joy of anticipation. For adults, Santa's mailbox offers more than just a connection to childhood. It serves as a gentle nudge to remember that belief in something magical isn't just for children. Sometimes the world needs a little fantasy to remain kind and full of hope. The most powerful kind of magic, after all, might just be the kind we choose to believe in, long after we've grown up. Creating space for wonder can bring hope not only to children, but to all generations, even through the simple act of receiving a letter from Santa. 55% income tax, the price of burden or the cost of belonging. In many countries, a 55% income tax rate would likely spark outrage, but in Denmark, This high tax rate is not met with protest, quite the opposite. It is met with acceptance, even pride. Why? Because Danes view taxes not as a burden, but as a collective investment in their society, a way of ensuring that everyone has access to the essentials that make life fair and meaningful. The high taxes contribute to Denmark's extensive social welfare system, which includes free education from kindergarten through university, universal health care, and strong support for the unemployed, elderly, disabled, and marginalized groups. But the key to Denmark's system lies not only in what is provided, but in the trust the citizens have in their government. Danes trust that their taxes are being used wisely, fairly, and transparently, which is what makes the system work. Instead of seeing taxes as money taken, they are seen as money shared, contributing to a society where no one is left behind and everyone has an equal opportunity for a good life. In contrast to the tax debates in many other countries, Denmark's approach uses taxation not just to fill budgets, but to create stability, mutual responsibility, and peace of mind. In Denmark, sharing the burden of taxes isn't seen as a punishment, it's seen as a vital part of the community that binds people together. It's this sense of collective responsibility and mutual support that allows Denmark to build a society where happiness is not just a dream, but a shared goal. Every krona contributes to a system that reflects the values of fairness, equality, and belonging. Hygge, the soulful Danish art of everyday comfort. Hygge is one of those rare words that doesn't have a direct English translation because it's more than a word. It's a feeling, a mindset, and a uniquely Danish approach to living well. It's the soft flicker of candlelight on a winter's evening. It's a steaming mug of cocoa cradled between your hands. It's friends gathered around a table, sharing laughter, stories, and homemade food in a space that feels safe and warm. Hygge is both subtle and powerful, woven into the fabric of Danish life. The beauty of Hygge lies in its simplicity. It's not about spending money or staging perfection. It's about intention. A warm blanket draped over a chair, the comforting scent of cinnamon cookies in the oven, soft jazz playing in the background, and being fully present with the people you care about. In a world obsessed with speed, status, and screens, Hygge is Denmark's quiet rebellion. It teaches that real happiness isn't found in more, it's found in less, but better. It's this philosophy that helps explain why Danes are consistently ranked among the world's happiest people. Not because they have everything, but because they've learned to fully savor what they already do. Hygge may sound soft, but once you've felt it, you'll crave it for life. Ever had a Hygge moment of your own? Maybe it was a rainy Sunday, a favorite book, and your coziest blanket. If that sounds familiar, you're already part of the club. Share your vibe, we're here for the art of chill. High cost of living, balanced by a life worth living. Let's be honest, Denmark isn't cheap. Living costs often range from $1,200 to $2,100 per person per month, depending on where and how you live. Rent, groceries, and transport are all on the pricier side compared to much of Europe. But here's the key. In Denmark, you get what you pay for, and often more. That higher price tag includes universal healthcare, free education, clean public spaces, reliable public transport, and a strong safety net for anyone who falls on hard times. Forget private insurance, surprise medical bills, or crippling tuition fees. Those worries don't follow you in Denmark. Everything, from a visit to the doctor to a master's degree, is already built into the system and covered through taxes. What you're really buying into here isn't just goods and services. It's peace of mind. It's the feeling of living in a country where you're supported, seen, and secure, where clean air and green parks are standard, where society prioritizes fairness, not just growth. So yes, life in Denmark comes at a cost, but it's a cost that reflects genuine value. And when quality of life is this high, that cost feels less like a burden and more like a wise investment in the kind of life most people dream of. Minimalist design, where function meets emotion. Denmark is a global powerhouse when it comes to design, not just for creating beautiful objects, but for shaping a way of life. The Danish design philosophy is simple yet profound. Form should follow function, and simplicity should never sacrifice soul. From the gentle curves of a Danish armchair to the soft, glowing elegance of Louis Poulsen lighting, every element is crafted with care, Each piece is not just something to admire. It's something to use, to live with, and to feel comforted by. This approach is rooted in both culture and climate. With long, dark winters and a strong tradition of home life, Danes have mastered the art of creating cozy, uncluttered spaces filled with natural light, warmth, and calm. Whether it's sleek wooden tables, modular shelving, or understated textiles, Danish interiors are about balance. Function meets beauty, simplicity meets comfort. Nothing is overdone, yet everything feels just right. That's why you'll find Danish design in homes, hotels, studios, and galleries across the world, not just as a style, but as an ethos. To live with Danish design is to embrace a life where every object has meaning and every space invites peace. Freedom of speech, grounded in responsibility, not just rights. In Denmark, the right to free speech is not only protected by law, it's deeply embedded in the national identity. As one of Europe's earliest champions of expression, Denmark ensures that every voice can be heard, even if it challenges the mainstream or makes people uncomfortable. But what truly sets Denmark apart isn't the legality of free speech, it's the maturity with which it's exercised. Here people understand that words carry weight. So even though you can say almost anything, the real question becomes, should you? Danes engage in public debate freely, criticizing leaders, questioning systems, exploring bold ideas, but rarely resort to insults or inflammatory language. This isn't censorship, it's self-awareness. It's about using speech not as a weapon, but as a tool for growth, connection, and progress. Thanks to this shared social ethic, Denmark has avoided many of the divisive trends seen elsewhere, such as radical polarization, hate speech crises, or widespread misinformation. In this society, freedom doesn't mean provoking for attention. It means communicating with care. The goal isn't to win arguments, but to elevate conversations. When respect shapes our words, freedom becomes a force that unites rather than divides. Primary education, where learning begins with the self, not the score. Denmark's approach to primary education flips the traditional academic model on its head. In Danish schools, grades are de-emphasized, rankings are rare, and kids aren't pushed through endless tests or crammed with extra tutoring. Instead, the system is built on the belief that childhood is for exploration, self-discovery, and emotional development, not performance pressure. Rather than trying to raise the top student, the goal is to raise a well-rounded human. Students learn through hands-on activities, role-play, gardening, and open dialogue. Collaboration is encouraged over competition. Kids are taught not just what to think, but how to think. Teachers act more like guides than lecturers. Classrooms feel more like creative hubs than strict institutions. The result? A calm, engaged, and mentally healthy student body that doesn't equate self-worth with a number on a paper. Failure isn't punished, it's normalized. Danish children are taught early on that mistakes are stepping stones, not roadblocks. They're encouraged to express themselves, manage emotions, and grow at their own pace. In an increasingly high-pressure world, Denmark's schools are a powerful reminder. Education isn't just about knowledge. It's about confidence, resilience, and the courage to be yourself. So, real talk, if you hadn't been judged by test scores growing up, would you have turned out a creative genius? Or the undefeated nap champion of your class? Either way, drop your best or most hilarious school memory. We're all students of life here. From minimalist living to unthinkable tax policies, from morning coffee rituals to clothing optional beaches, Denmark challenges our ideas of happiness and freedom. Imagine living here for a month. Do you think you'd adjust to the Danish way of life? Or perhaps you've experienced a similar Nordic lifestyle elsewhere. Share your thoughts and experiences with us in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you think Denmark's unique lifestyle could change the way we live.